Hey, I was going to make another video on a tutorial for auto-clicking, for farming specifically. I'm going to go over the most basic setup first and then go over some more customization options. So if you don't have much time, just watch at least like the first 2 minutes of this. So first, you can go into your recording up here, click that center button to start recording. Yep, start. Click on your little finder. Click on search, click over here where the C is on creature found, click in the middle of this icon, click bottom right where the K is, click on whatever march pawn you're going to use, and then back where your previous button was right here. And then back, 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 C for cancel, stop. And if you just do that one, it will farm whatever you set it to do. And the reason I did all these specific button presses was to avoid any hiccups for like opening up boxes of food and whatnot. And yeah, any other issues that you might run into while auto-clicking. And the reason I do the back cancel is to back out of any menus. For instance, if you run out of creatures that you're farming and you have this just running constantly and you're not paying attention to it, then it might go into another menu. It'll open specifically the daily quest based on where I clicked it, and if it goes into your daily menu, it's never going to go back into farming unless you back out of it. And so that's why I do that back cancel, to back out of any random mishaps. Alright, so I want to go into more of the customizations. So to make this a little faster, you want to go ahead and pick your march pawn. And after you pick your march pawn, every march after that will automatically select that, so you don't have to click on it. If you want to do events, make sure you're clicked over into the event tab. So for instance, I have specific routines already set up for each different event. And with the new update to this app, you can actually do combined tasks down here. And so whenever you do that, you just create a name, and then you can add tasks. So if you've already set up farming routines for every different event, you can just set up those tasks in combination. For instance, if it's like right now it's Cav month, so there's Cav elites, and there's also those daily caravans Monday through Thursday. So if you want to hunt the elite creatures and also hunt caravans without having to hit regular creatures and the regular elites that are just kind of a pain in the ass, you can set something up like this. So I have already done that in this event 1, 2, 3, etc. So what I set up was hitting event 1, which is bricks, frags, shards, or pine, and then event 2, which is the elite creatures, and then event 3, which is also the crafting event caravans, which are really low density, so I wouldn't recommend putting them on there because they would just get stuck after you hit like 10 of them, because that's all you can reach. So you can set something up like this. So I did 1 brick and then 5 elites, because an elite usually takes 5 hits to kill if it hasn't been hit yet. So this will kind of have an even ratio of brick creatures to elites, so that we don't overhunt one and run out of space on the map. Alright, so to set up a quicker routine like I was describing, make sure you go ahead and click on your march pawn, and make sure you're already clicked into the event tabs, and then make sure you have whatever range you want set up. So I'm going to start recording for, what are we on? I don't even remember, bricks. We're on bricks today. So let's start recording. Finder. Oh, crap, sorry. Restart. Make sure it's not in this down version, because if it's already down, it's going to fuck up the way you record it, because every time that you hit a creature, it resets back into this version. So exit out of here, start the recording. Hit your finder, hit your arrow, hit your S for search, see where creatures is, middle of the icon, around where the K is, and the same spot again, back, back, cancel, and stop. So I'm gonna rename this test event 1. And I'm gonna go into the configuration to edit the times. Since I was talking through a lot of it, there's a lot longer times that aren't necessary. So based on how fast my phone is, I usually set about 1200 seconds or 1200 milliseconds for the in the same screen tasks, and then the transitions, like whenever it transitions from like going into the creature, that's called a transition. I give it a little bit longer delay because sometimes lag makes that go slower. So instead of editing all of these and making you watch that, I'm just going to go into one of my already configured ones and show you what it looks like. So I'm a bit OCD and I try to make everything exactly the same. So you'll see all of the normal ones are 1200 milliseconds with a 100 millisecond tap time, and then that transition number 5 is 1400 milliseconds, and that time is for the delay after the tap. So, like number 1 taps, and then 1200 milliseconds after that it'll start number 2, 1200 milliseconds after that it'll start number 3, etc. And then pay attention to your final delay time, because your final delay time, like right here I have 1000 milliseconds, and then on the task time interval where it says 500 right here, 500, you can add more of a delay to that. So if you want it to take longer between creatures, you can do a longer delay, like 1000 or 2000. If you're running a slower phone, or if you got just a cheap burner Android phone specifically to do this instead of using a bot, then you might want to do slightly longer times because your phone might not be that fast. But this is still awesome for farming. I'm trying to think if there's anything I missed covering, but I would go ahead and definitely set up tasks for each event, and then depending on what you want to farm, you can create a combined task. So that way you can just kind of shortcut. Today I want to do bricks and a few elites. Today I want to do elites and maybe some craft caravans. And then you see I also have event 4. So whenever you're going into that, it's not showing, and you don't necessarily want to scroll down, because anytime you do a swipe with auto click, it gets really fucky. So if you actually tap in the bottommost corner right here, you'll hit it. So whenever you're setting up your auto click routine for event 4, I'll show you. You just have to make sure that so you have to close that out before you start the routine. So now that it's back to normal, I'll show you. So you ended up and stuff right there. So right now, event 4 is nodes, which obviously you're not going to auto farm. But sometimes, depending on how WB does it, event 4 will be whatever you want to farm, like craft caravans. So the secret to that is to make sure you just tap in the bottommost part of that window and you'll hit it. Alright, thanks for watching.